Hello. I'm so glad you joined me. My clock says 11:59, but it must be broadcast time. So, welcome to the Advancement Center and welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where you will recognize yourself as the magic and the miracles that you brought with you. You brought with you when you were born. And where is it now? The glory and the dream. I've read this before, but I love it even more when William Wordsworth wrote, and do you remember this from elementary school? I do. Our birth is but a sleep and a forgetting. The soul that rises with us, our life star, hath had elsewhere its setting, and cometh from afar. Not in entire forgetfulness, and not in utter nakedness, but trailing clouds of glory do we come from God, who is our home. Heaven lies about us in our infancy. He adds, growing up all too often is losing one's connection to nature. Haven't we found that to be so true? Nature, things that are natural, have been made artificial. Yeah. It's natural to recognize a fellow spirit when you're in touch with your own. Follow your spirit is what I have learned after a lifetime of experience. Yeah, I followed my spirit. I followed my spirit all the way to Australia, where I met Robert, and my life blossomed, as did the Advancement Center. We're celebrating 10 years with our ever-growing family. And it's to this wonder that I welcome you now. If I've known you since our origin, hello. If I'm just meeting you for the first time, welcome. What an honor it is to be here, to be in touch with all of you. It's simply amazing. I have so many things I want to share with you. I don't know what to go first. Simeon's broadcast yesterday has stirred up so many hearts, so many tears of joy. And I'm so thrilled because when I got to Australia, I met Simeon, Robert's twin, located in the outer reaches of the universe. And ever since then, I've been writing to him my deepest feelings, my biggest wonderings, so many questions, and he always answers me. And this is not a singular event. I invite you all to experience the joy of writing to someone, a pen pal, who has wisdom beyond belief. So right now, I'm just going to read a little bit. I'm just so happy to be here. And even more than that, I'm happy that you're here. So I usually date them. It's fun to see what the date stands for numerologically. And on Saturday, that was November 5th, that adds up to a 4. And a 4 means everything in order. 4. And this is what I wrote. If I can read my writing. Dear Simeon, a great discovery today. David spoke. Oh, by the way, yesterday was wonderful, and it was filled with love and appreciation. David, in his broadcast, spoke about twins. And there it was, my twin, my witness, my pal, my other self. I am never alone. Wow. So that was as far as I got. But then David gifted me with his writing. And this is so heartfully written. I wanted to share it with you, just a portion, because it encompasses everything. But I'm just going to read an excerpt. And the title of it is, I Am Your Twin. I have come from so far away to be with you. I have come from the outer reaches of the universe and beyond. I have lived all my life in the world of no time and space. But now I have come to you. I have chosen to come and be with you and to enter the world of time and space so that I may fulfill what you have always wanted. I am your twin. You have called upon me to join you, and I have come. My love for you is beyond unconditional. It is not comparable to any feeling you've ever had or felt. I have chosen to share your expanded field because you have made space for me to do so. Now, when you look out into the world, you will look through my eyes. Now you will see from my perspective. Now you will feel through my feeling. And now you will know through my knowing. You have cried out to me, and I have come. You have not cried out to me in words, but in a feeling so deep that you did not even know that you were crying out to me. And now you are a walking channel of my infinite awareness that has existed since the beginning, since the day that we were created. You can feel the change from my arrival within your being, and it is changing the way that you operate. It is like something else is operating within your human form, within your mind and body. It is like no, it is me, that bright star, your twin, for I have arrived. You are saying things and thinking and feeling things that you have never felt before. Oh my goodness. I heard that, and everything in my life, but I mean everything, shifted. And that is what I'm trying to let you know what can happen. Now, back to the journal. Okay. I made myself directions so I know where to start. So, back in the journal, I'm still in Saturday, and I wrote, and by the way, this is 10 o'clock in the morning. So I said, looking forward to your broadcast. Then I added, I emailed a love note to David, my son, after watching the dawn break this morning. And then was the broadcast. But before that, as I said, and this will happen if you take my suggestion and write to Simeon, because he's everyone's friend. He loves us all, as does Robert. And he always answers. And here's Simeon's answer Saturday morning before his broadcast. Dearest Barbara, we've been tracking your breakthrough, and it is indeed altering the universe. Last blocks removed, and everything has advanced. The true commencement and the flow is forever unimpeded. Wow. Of course, you are fulfilling your role as David's mother. His twin is listening, even if he doesn't respond. And there's a smiley face. You will be listening to my words with new ears. We love and adore you. Love, Simeon. And then later on Saturday, this is after the broadcast, I wrote, by the way, it's at 5 o'clock. Dear Simeon, I just finished editing your transcript and was carried by the tears of joy as I listened to Robert bringing your message to the world. The message was even more than we dared to dream. Your love, caring, and connection to the Creator was a heightened awareness of just how much we are privileged to hear at this time on earth. The deepest dream that we dare to dream are all coming true. Universal support system for humanity, he said, and that just blew me away. I didn't even know that was my deepest wish. But that's why we're here. A dream held for eons. Rob, that's right. And then I said, thank you for every word you uttered on our behalf. Love, Barbara. And then on Sunday, oh, that's today. Oh my goodness. By the way, I adored going back to regular time, Pacific Standard Time. No contrived making everybody move earlier. And then all of a sudden, we received the greatest gift of all, a whole hour. So I was writing at 6:50 this morning, and I wrote, Dear Simeon, we just moved the clocks to where they belong. So appropriate after your dismantling so many structural hindrances put there to block freedom. By the way, did I tell you that numerologically today is freedom? Number 5. You always stand for freedom. Freedom to create, to fly, to be in the embrace of our Creator, and to know our true identity as we visit planet Earth and be the love and light that songwriters seem to know all about. They must write. Forgive me, my having a hard time seeing my own writing. They must write out of the box to capture our imagination. The only place that cannot be tampered with by rules and regulation, called control. The teacher controls her class. The time clock controls the workers. And diagnoses controls the well-being and prognosis of a person. Dear Simeon, you offer us freedom with every word. Your love embraces us all. R&R is supposed to stand for rest and relaxation. Unfortunately, it has become rules and regulation, enforced by automation with only one goal: money, salary, reward. All this is sorry. All this is crumbling as life, love, and liberty breaks their way through the crumbling structures, and as more and more cells are unlocked and freed and is allowed to celebrate as the peace, love, and light that awaits us all. Please forgive me. My handwriting is too small and my eyes are not working the way they're supposed to. And then this is what Simeon answered. Dearest Barbara, now do you see the magic that each one brings from beyond their world, this world, and with them as they enter with vivid pictures from their origin. Please tell the story of Nene. Your knowingness has been forever, and you've helped so many along the way. 10 years ago, the great hall of your origin magically became the Advancement Center, and all who remember found their way to your door that you and Robert have provided, and the family has been growing exponentially with love and generosity. And now, with this roof being blown off, the light will shine brighter. Attract those who have been wandering and hunting for their divine selfhood. We toast your decade of success, but please remember, you ain't seen nothing yet. We love each and every one of you who hold the light of life aloft for all to see and set their sights upon. We celebrate your celebration, which has never been as bright and as primed to become ever even more bright for all. Love, Simeon. What can I say? Can you hear the excitement in my voice? Can you hear the thrill of knowing that ultimately everyone on this planet will hear this message somehow, some way, by the actions of everyone remaining who they really are and who they brought with them. Yeah. Well, Simi wants me to tell you the story of Nene. Okay, I will. I have 3 children, David, Debbie, and Danny. And eight grandchildren. I had to count them. And my daughter gave birth to her second child, a daughter. And my children are wonderful parents. They truly are. And the grandchildren have really become beautiful young adults. And my daughter called me one day. I was living, I guess, in Connecticut, and she called me very concerned. And she's a very capable young woman, a polished architect and successful. And she has a beautiful son, Kevin. And here comes her little daughter Megan. And Debbie's very self-sufficient. So when she called, I was pretty interested in what she had to say. And she said, Mom, I'm not quite sure how to speak about this, but Megan is talking to someone who is invisible to us. Okay. But this invisible one is always with us at the dinner table. And Megan is insisting that I put a chair out. And her name is Nene. I was so grateful that Debbie called me before, who knows. And all I could say to her was, make room for Nene. She came in with Megan. Now, how do I know all this? I don't know, but I knew this. I said, make way. This is Megan's first real, true friend. And she is taking care of Nene. And you want to nurture Megan and Nene together. Debbie listened. And they put a chair out for Nene. And, well, at the time I was counseling people. I was speaking to young mothers. So can you imagine how thrilled I was when my own daughter asked for some advice? And she followed it. I haven't heard since what happened to Nene. But I do know that Megan is the product or the result of endless love and support from her parents, from her older brother. But only I know Nene is still with her. And Megan and I are very close. And as a result, she wants to work with people. And she's going for her master's right now. So that's the story of Nene. As far as my own twin, I never thought of it. I didn't have any contact, but I knew when Megan had a Nene. Very precious. So you see why I read that. And I had something happen recently where I found myself almost at an impasse in circumstances. And I don't even have to give you the details, but I heard a voice. I heard a voice with an answer to what was really happening. I know that was my twin. And all of a sudden, there was no impasse. Everything resolved, everything was fine, everything was harmonious. And can you imagine when David spoke about that on Friday, where this had happened just the day before, or maybe 2 days? And I went, wow, every one of us has a twin, recognized or not. Yes, I did a lot of counseling. And one afternoon, I'd like to share with you, I was invited to speak to about 30 young women who were all new mothers or comparatively new mothers. And I was to speak to them on raising a happy child. And I went there, no preparation. I just stood there. Oh, I did have 3x5 cards with me. And I gave everyone a card. And I said, please put down a nickname that someone in your family, they could even be deceased, maybe a grandpa or grandma, called you when you were a child. And then I collected the cards. And we spoke about not how to mother, but we spoke about remembering our own child, our own childhood, what we longed for, what we couldn't say, what we really loved. And then I had this stack of cards, and I just picked one. And I said, who's Honey Bunch? And I heard a giggle in the back. And she said, that would be me. And I said, tell me about it. Who called you Honey Bunch? And out came a flood of feeling. She said, that was my grandpa. He's not here anymore. I don't hear him say that anymore. Well, at any rate, to make a long, beautiful story, I said, I want you all to go back to those times when you were cherished, when you were nurtured, or perhaps wanting nurturing, and you had those thoughts, and sometimes you had some answers, and sometimes you were left with the question. And we went on and spoke about the magic of childhood and the miracle of just being together without having to speak. And your best little friend, and some of them had visible friends, and some had invisible friends like Nene. At any rate, we spent an amazing time, not how to be a mother, but remembering being a child. And at the end of the session, by the way, no one wanted to leave. And what I failed to mention is they all had their children with them down the hall in another classroom with a counselor there. And they were playing happily down there with their blocks. At any rate, back in the room with the mothers, I said, we've just revisited your childhood. Now, you get a chance to do that again with your real child. I've never seen so many women run down a hallway almost at galloping speed to pick up their child. with a new awareness, a new idea about mothering, and hopefully they had fun together. And that was so good. Yeah. And I see the time is running fast. But I'm just going to say children are precious. I remember my own awarenesses of how I longed for everyone to honor and love one another. There was a knowingness which was met all too often with, she's too big for her britches, because they had a mental picture of what a child's supposed to be. Yeah. And she's also too pretty. Let's marry her off at 18. Right. What did I know? The crazy world and jealousy were rampant in high school. And that's when I immersed myself in music, in concerts, in performance. And now I've discovered a new love. Not really new, but a fabulous discovery. And it's called my art. So every Thursday night, I make a new discovery. And here's Thursday. Right, there we go. And I look at it and I criticize it and whatnot. And then David and Robert look at it and love it. I go, really? So it's fun and it's wonderful and it's magical and it is a miracle. So to each and every one of you, sharing your light as we travel to the outer reaches of the universe and beyond, we discover we've been escorted there by Robert and met there by Simeon. And what do we discover? The perfect life, perfect health, and the magic future that has been promised and is now being delivered. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Barbara.